You're listening to Victory by Association with Jeff Tippett, international speaker, best-selling author, and entrepreneur. This is the podcast exclusively for association executives and members. Each week, Jeff interviews association executives about their victories, igniting new ideas for you to create greater value for your members. And now, Jeff Tippett.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Tippett. I'm grateful that you've joined us for today's episode of Victory by Association. Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/VBA. That's audibletrial.com/VBA. And that will be in our show notes with over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Please make sure you check out the show notes for this special offer. I am so excited today to welcome our special guest, Divya. Divya, welcome to Victory by Association.
Oh, it's so wonderful to be here, Jeff. Thank you for inviting me.
And we have a special connection here. I'll toss that out. Divya's the one I've had an opportunity to work with. And sometimes, I know you listen to people on podcasts and you're wondering, hey, are they really the real deal or not? But Divya and I had a chance to work together launching my book. And she did an amazing job helping me get to #1 international bestseller. So, Divya, you're the real deal. And I'm so glad to have you on the show today.
Also glad to be here too, because, as you mentioned, there's so many podcast hosts that I don't know, and I've worked with you, and folks, got to tell you, Jeff's amazing.
Well, thanks for being part of the show today. Tell us a little bit about your background with associations, some of the work that you've done with associations in the past.
So, well, I have been on the board of directors as an executive, and sometimes just as in a capacity of being associated with boards. So I've worked with several boards, not giving out different names, but some of them were female executive associations, and most of them were catering towards women.
Fantastic. Well, talk to us a little bit, if you will, about an association victory, or maybe two, if you want to talk to them, some work that you did with an association that really helped them reach a major milestone or to do something fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the story, if you would.
Oh, absolutely. So let me share a most recent one, WOMEL. So that organization is designated to support women. And we started out where we wanted to showcase different women entrepreneurs, women leaders.
Wow.
And we started out with a magazine, and initially we did not have many contributors. And we started out with a small outreach, and then as we slowly grew it, and the best victory was that it was a group effort. And as we started pulling people in, people started seeing the vision. So it's not only that people from US were drawn, we have got international people contributing. And now the thing is that, it's very hard to get into WOMEL, and we are having a lot of people reaching out for contributions, and also it's going in print version, and it's going to so many different doctors' offices, and people reaching out and saying, how the articles are, giving them hope, inspiring them. So that's one of the victories I'll share. And for another one, we were able to help several students who would not have had a chance to get into robotics. So that was definitely a win. And, several girls who came in not knowing different things. And these were girls who were just like hammering away and using the machines, the drill machines and all that by the end of the year. It's a lot of victories.
Absolutely. So talk to me a little bit about the magazine. That's, I find that is extremely intriguing, like getting things up and launched. And I know a lot of people today, and a lot of associations go back and forth discussing about, like, do I do print? Do I do digital only? Tell me a little bit about like what you're seeing in that space for your audience, at least.
So what we are seeing over here is that, we have gone up to our readership has gone up to 60K. So the key is that what happens is that a lot of people are thinking whether I should do digital or print. We have got both. And the best part of digital is that you can still get an experience. And the key is that you're able to showcase so many different people. And the best part is that, rather than getting your word out, that what we are about, what do we stand for, the magazine speaks for itself. It's the quality. It's not only you talking about your organization, it's about other people talking about you. And print, of course, let's say like we talked about, it goes into the doctor's offices in Southern California, Las Vegas area. So over there, it's sitting there and you don't know who's going to walk into a doctor's office, and so many people have access to it. And who can get the word out, and who are your contributors, who are your writing guests. We feature a lot of different people. It makes a huge difference.
That's
So
amazing.
I would recommend going for both. If you can, I would say start out small, because in a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step, and then just continue on it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Start small, do high quality there, but 60,000 readership that's amazing. That's pretty substantial.
And that's within a span of a year.
That's in a year. That's great. So talk to me a little bit about like barriers or obstacles that you face as you're like getting this publication, this communications piece up off the ground. What were some of the barriers or obstacles or things that you had to work through to get that first piece out there live?
Well, of course, as you all know, folks, just like it takes a village to raise a child, similarly, it takes a village to get an organization going. So one of the first key things was contributors who would provide quality content, and which was more about, providing that service and leadership towards other women, rather than, having a pitch fest that, okay, share about yourself and, what's happening, and then setting the tone as to, okay, what is the magazine going to represent? How is it going to be laid out? And also one of the things, you may be, just a very simple thing, you may think that a lot of thought leaders are out there and savvy, but you'll be surprised that, sometimes we would invite very savvy thought leaders to be the feature for our covers, and we would not be able to get really good pictures. So folks, if you're out there and if you're thinking about your organization, and if your organization is being represented by somebody and that person is getting, or your whole organization is getting on the media, it's really important to have good headshots, because it speaks volumes, and the quality of the pictures. It was just that one of the little things that we faced.
Yeah. So what I hear you say is start small, but really put the focus on the quality. Really put strong quality into everything about it, like the look, the content, the imagery, like everything supporting, just making sure that it's quality. Well, let me ask you this. You've gotten it up. You've got a lot of success there. For our audience here of association executives, if they are considering like starting some type of publication, maybe it's a print piece, maybe they're just going digital. Are there some tips or some things here that you would offer that you think that they need to know that could maybe jumpstart or some hacks to help them get up and get running in publishing? A couple of tips here that you might toss out.
Oh, absolutely, folks. So first of all, I would bring on board somebody who's done it before. So they're experienced, they've been through the pitfalls, so that you can avoid them. So rather than getting bruised and scraping your knees and bruising your elbows, the best part is, get someone who's already done that before. And if they've done it, you're going to avoid that pitfalls. And another tip that I would like to give, and this is one of the best hacks, is get a book written. So let's say if you don't have the bandwidth to have a publication going out day in and day out, because it does take a lot of work. You need graphic designers, you need editors, you need contributors. So it's a lot of work. And now you still want to get your word out there. And how can you go about it? I would say write the right book. And when you write the right book that will cater towards your audience, you will get attention, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you that from personal experience, like getting that book out there is extremely important. And yeah, Divya, maybe we'll have to bring you back down the road and talk a little bit about books and getting books together. I think, especially for a lot of our association executives, that could really separate them from the pack of other association executives by getting a book out there. And sometimes the association executives look to move to go to different places or different locations, and it could be one of the strongest assets that they have in landing that next space. So maybe we'll pick this conversation up again down the road and talk a little bit about books as well.
It'll be my pleasure.
I love it. Well, Divya, you have been an amazing guest today. I love, especially owning a communications firm. I love this whole thing around communications. I love talking about publications and the print as well as the digital. So I'm grateful that you're a guest. You've been giving us some great knowledge here today. How can people find you?
Oh, the best way to find me is, just visit my website, which is just like my name. And as Jeff mentioned, it's going to be in the show notes. I'll not bore you with all D's for David and all that. So it's just www.divyaparekh.com. And you can email me at contact@divyaparekh.com. And you can, of course, find me on all the social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, as well as Instagram. And of course, Jeff will be sharing that with you.
Absolutely. We'll put all those in the show notes that you can find Divya and connect with her and start some conversations with her. So Divya, thank you for being the guest, and thank you all for listening. Hey, my special gift for you today is a free chapter from my book, Unleashing Your Superpower. And this chapter is on crafting a message. I think it's one of the first places we drop the ball in communicating is not understanding how to craft a very simple message that our audience can understand. So I want to give you the 4 tips that you need to start crafting that message. All you have to do is text the word persuade to 66866, persuade to 66866, and that chapter will be in your inbox immediately. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you again next week as we discover another victory by association.
You've been listening to Victory by Association with Jeff Tippett. If you've enjoyed, please subscribe, rate, and review. Be sure to check out the show notes for links relating to this episode. For information about becoming a sponsor or guest, please email podcast@jefftippett.com.